Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and listen to what I have to say. Let's do a quick show of hands to begin with. What am I going to talk about today? What's already been discussed? Yeah?
Something to do with veganism.
Veganism, okay, great, yeah. Let's do a show of hands, okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say an animal, and I want you to raise your hand if you eat that animal, okay? All right? Okay, I'm going to start really, really easy, okay? I'm going to say chickens. That's always the number one, chickens, okay. All right, okay, shh, okay. Next one. All right, guys, pigs. Yeah, who eats pigs? Yeah, just a little bit, just every now and then, yeah. Okay, next one, cows. Who eats cows? Okay, let's make it a little bit more abstract. Okay, ducks. Who eats ducks? Okay. Yeah. Okay, all right. Shh. Ready? Who eats dogs? Dogs. No? All right, stay with me. Shh. Who eats cats? No one have like a cat steak for dinner tonight? No? Alligator, some people do. All right then, okay, so now tell me, hands up, what's the difference? What's the difference between a pig and a dog when it comes to why we eat them?
There's no difference.
There is no difference. Okay, so if there's no difference, why would you not eat a dog? All right, everyone.
We like the dogs as pets.
We do like dogs. And why do we like dogs as pets? Because they're nice, right? And they're fun, and they're playful. Yeah?
Because it's illegal to eat a dog in Germany.
It is illegal to eat a dog. Well,
Not in China. Why?
not in some places around the world. And actually, I think in the UK, this might be wrong, but I think technically it's not illegal, but we just don't do it, right? Because it's like a cultural thing.
So I thought we had was that it could be bad for them because they're in a way they're dead on the inside and on the outside. So in a way, it's bad for their mental health
It is bad for their mental health. Why is it bad for their mental health?
because they're being treated like animals.
No. But that's what we say, isn't it? What does that mean then? All right, everyone, listen up.
Treated as if they had rights their own. So they have a life that's already set and they can't change it.
Exactly. What does that mean, right? Okay, what would we say we've taken away from them? If they don't have a choice, what have we taken from them?
Their life.
Their life. And what word so if someone took everything from you, not your life, but took away your ability to make decisions, to do what you want, what would someone have taken from you?
Their will.
Their will, yeah. Yeah. Freedom, exactly. We've taken away their freedom, haven't we? And it's really interesting that the first thing you said was it causes problems for their mental health, the psychology, because that's so true. But it's something that we don't often think about them, like suffering psychologically as well. Do you think that because something's legal, that makes it acceptable? No, right? So even if eating dogs, just because it's illegal, doesn't mean that it's okay to kill pigs just because it is legal. So should culture dictate what's right and wrong and how we live? No, I don't think so either. Yeah?
Also, because most people think that like animals, like dogs and cats are like pets.
Yeah.
And then cows and pigs and chicken are not pets.
Yeah.
So that's why people find it weird to eat dogs and cats.
You're absolutely right, because we're used to having them in our families, right? But do we think that there's anything, like let's say the reason that we like dogs and cats as pets is because they're playful and they can show affection, they have personalities. Do you think that the pigs and the cows and the chickens can also show affection and have personalities?
Yes. Not really.
Not really? Why not really? When you say not really, what do you think is different then about why? That's absolutely fine for you to say, but why do you think that?
I think every cow has the same personality.
The same personality. So what would that personality be? There's no wrong answer. Well, there's a wrong answer, right? But it's not wrong to say what you think as well. But let's think about it this way, okay? I had a little hamster, and he was called Rupert, right? And I really liked Rupert because he was my pet, and I thought he was wonderful. But I thought that Rupert the hamster had a little personality of his own because he loved broccoli, but he didn't like kale, which made him quite unique because a lot of hamsters love kale, but he was not a fan of it at all. Do you know with like hamsters, you get them the wheels, and they're like supposed to run around in those wheels, right? And they run for like days apparently. Or you get them like the ball, and they run around the room in the ball, right? Well, Rupert the hamster, he would never run, right? And so I got him a ball, and I put him in the ball, and he would just sit and eat, you know, because they store food in their cheeks. So he'd take all the food from his cheeks and just eat it, and he wouldn't run anywhere. But some hamsters would run for miles and miles and miles and run wherever they could, but Rupert wouldn't, because that was what his personality was like, and he was lazy. A bit like me, because I like eating rather than exercising as well, so we had that in common, right? So if we think that like an animal, like a hamster has a personality, so likes and dislikes, things that make them unique, then animals like cows and pigs and even chickens who are more intelligent than small little hamsters will also have these personalities that make them unique in a way as well. Who here has a pet? Yeah. So a lot of you, right? Okay, great. And like, what would you feel like? What would you say to someone if someone said they wanted to eat your pet? What would you say to them?
I would cry.
You'd cry, right? Let's say we're walking home after school and we come across someone who's killing a dog in the street.
I would kill him.
I think people are trying to be, they're over-exaggerating when they're saying that they're going to kill the person. But
Yeah.
I would just go up to them or call the police or something.
Exactly.
And try to stab the person.
So basically, fundamentally, we'd try and save the dog, wouldn't we, right? That's what you're saying. You'd call the police, maybe try and get some passers-by to help. Let's say it's the same scenario. We've left school, we're going home, and instead of a dog, someone's killing a pig, or a chicken, or a cow, or a sheep. Do we still try and save them? No. No, why? No? You just leave them.
I don't know. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call the police like I did with the dog.
That's interesting. But you'd feel bad. What about everyone else? Would most people try and save the other animal?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think intrinsically, like, we don't want to see animals in front of us being killed. Okay. So let's do a raise of hands as well and say, oh, so you've had Anna for ages. Go on. Sorry.
I don't really see the difference. Like, what's the difference between like hooking a cat and hanging it on a rope and like going fishing? It's literally the same thing. You're killing animals.
Exactly. You're killing an animal. And who here would want to kill an animal themselves? Let's say you go home tonight, right, and you have two options, and one of them is chickpea and sweet potato curry. Or the other option is you have a live chicken that you have to kill yourself. Which one would you choose? You choose this one.
Yeah, because,
Right, okay.
because
Okay.
I'm one of those person that are just scared kind of to kill something,
Yeah.
and then blood comes out of it.
That'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's do a show of hands. Who here is against animal cruelty? Okay, what's that, right? Okay, so that's a great question. What does being cruel mean? Like, if someone's a cruel person, what does that mean? Yeah.
Being mean,
Yeah, being mean, and what would that look like, being mean?
stabbing.
Stabbing, yeah. That would be pretty mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah? Abuse, okay. What constitutes abuse?
Anything physical, mental, anything that will hurt the animals.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, do you think that what we do to animals gives them physical and mental suffering?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So do you think that what we do to animals is cruel?
Yes.
Right. But are we against animal cruelty?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Also, by the pigs, I think when the pigs are born, like they are cutting the tail off,
Yeah,
so they don't bite off their own tail
that's right.
when they get hold of like in the street.
Yeah, so the other pigs don't bite off their tails. They'll also cut their teeth out so they can't bite each other because they're kept in such small areas that they become, mental health-wise, they become so angry and so frustrated and they become so trapped that they actually start to do things to release like stress and one of them.
So like there are every time like 20 chickens in one box, like in one little box. So they are like not having a good life.
What does the word humane mean? Like, let's open up like an imaginary thesaurus and find the word humane. What other words are there alongside the word humane? Yeah? Pardon? Ethics, so like ethical, ethics, yeah. What else?
Like in general, respect their nature.
Respect, yeah, that's right, yeah. Empathy, yeah, this is good. So respect, empathy, benevolence, which basically means being kind. So what would we say is what we do to animals is not compassionate and it's not kind, right? But let's make a bigger question. Can we ever kill them compassionately if they don't need to die?
No.
No, right?